Hi students, it's Miss Crosby here to remind you about what you need to do this week to finalize your essay. Remember, we are writing a 5-paragraph essay on the novel Ghost. Today is really the day for you to get all 5 paragraphs done. If you are in periods 5 or 7, you will also have some time on Tuesday to work on it, but I would really do my best to have it done today. In addition, I will remind you that today from 1 to 2 o'clock will be a tutorial. If you're struggling with any of these paragraphs, come see me during tutorial and we'll make sure that you get everything done. There are 3 basic documents that you need to be working on to finish all your paragraphs. And I'm going to go over all 3 of them with you. The first one you'll need to work on is the writing prompt. You will also need to do your ghost introduction, and you'll need to do your ghost conclusion. We did all of these already, but let's go back and look where to find them. If you have not finished the ghost writing prompt, what you will do is go into your classwork section of your Google Classroom. You're going to have to go quite a ways down, scrolling down, down, down. You will then see the run. But above the run, you will see the 2 words, View More. You will want to click on View More, and this will open up more documents for you. But now you're down a little bit lower. You need to scroll up, and you need to find Monday, November 30th, Ghost Essay Prompt. Monday, November 30th, Ghost Essay Prompt. Once you've opened that up, it should look like this. You need to write 3 claims. It says right here, explain what Castle learns about life, friendship, and himself throughout the novel. I'm going to highlight that for you so you can see that that really is the core question that you need to respond to. What does Castle learn about life, friendship, and himself? So your first claim here should be about what does Castle learn about life? So I might write something like, Castle learns that all actions have reactions. My second claim will be, what does Castle learn about friendship? And I might write something in here along the lines of, Castle learns that he can trust his friends more than he knows. Your final one should be on, what does Castle learn about himself? And again, you need to come up with a claim. I don't want you to keep copying my claims. I want you to make sure you come up with your own claim. Once you write a simple claim in, then what you will do is go down below on the same document, and there's a whole bunch of helpful quotes. You will find the quote that best suits your document or your claim. So for example, on my first claim here, Ghost learns that all actions have reactions. I used the quote, trouble is you can't run away from yourself, ain't nobody that fast. Before the quote, I explain where it comes in the story. After Coach picks up Castle from school, he tells him, trouble is you can't run away from yourself, ain't nobody that fast. Then what I did was I added an extra box down below my quote. So if, for example, I'm looking at this one, because you haven't added extra boxes yet, most of you have, because most of you have followed along in class. But even if you haven't, you can still catch up. I'm going to make sure that my cursor is inside this quote box. I'm then going to right-click. When I right-click, this new menu box will come up, and I'm going to do Insert Row Below. This is where I can now put my reasoning. If I do that again, right-click on the box, and I insert another row below, then this is where I can put the final copy of the paragraph. So let me show you what that would look like. If I go up to my first box here again, my first claim was, Ghost learns that all actions have reactions. My quote, after Coach picks up Castle from school, he tells him, quote, trouble is you can't run away from yourself, ain't nobody that fast, end quote. Here, are some different sentence starters and some helpers for writing your reasoning. You would not actually write what's in the red. What you would want to write is what you're seeing here. That's presently blue. Let me turn it back to black. And I want to unitalicize it so you can see it clearly. So my reasoning only has to be 3 to 4 sentences. That's it. And it's my thoughts about what does Ghost learn in that situation that I brought forward in the quote. So, again, if I'm going up to my quote, after Coach picks up Castle from school, he tells him, trouble is, you can't run away from yourself, ain't nobody that fast. Ghost begins to see that he has lived too much in the past. He's learning to trust others and to try new things. Instead of running from the past, he's learning to run to the future. This relieves a lot of stress for him. So I'm just putting in my thoughts about what he learns in that moment from that interaction with Coach. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I said, put in a new box by, again, inserting row below. I'm going to take my first claim sentence right here. I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit Control C for copy. Then I'm going to put Control V for paste. Give it 2 spaces. I'm going to pick up my quote sentence. Control C for copy. Control V. Put 2 more spaces, and now I'm going to pick up all of my reasoning. Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and now I have a full paragraph all together. Every one of your boxes should look like this. So for claim 1, I should have a quote. I should have a claim. I should have a quote. I should have done some reasoning here. And then I should have put it all together in a final box. I've done the same thing for number 2. So here again, about friendship is the final paragraph put all together. You need to make sure you do the same thing for the third one. When you have that done, you will have all 3 of your body paragraphs completed. Now we're going to move on and look at the Ghost essay introduction. Remember, you can stop at any time in this video, rewind, look at things again, and make sure you really understand what you need to do. For the Ghost introduction, we did this together in class just last week. So if you are in period 1, you would find the Ghost introduction paragraph on Thursday, December 10th. That would be for periods 1, 2, and 4. If you're in periods 5 and 7, you will find the Ghost introduction paragraph on Friday, December 11th, right here. So again, for periods 1, 2, and 4, it's Thursday, December 10th in your classwork. For periods 5 and 7, it is Friday, December 11th. So if we go to the introduction, you would fill in the top portions, remembering that an introduction comes with a hook, background information, and a thesis. The hook should be 2 to 3 sentences long. The background information should be 2 to 3 sentences long, and the thesis is only 1 sentence. You need to copy your claims over from this document. To copy them, all I have to do, again, is to select, hit Control C. I can then go over here into this area, and I hit Control V, and that would copy it right over into there. So I need to make sure I have all 3 of my claims. They should all be exactly the same. The claims on your writing prompt are the same as your claims on your introduction, and they're the same as the claims on your conclusion. They all match exactly. And the way you make sure they match exactly is by copying and pasting. So here I have, Ghost learns that all actions have reactions. Ghost learns that he can trust his friends more than he knows, and Ghost learns that he must control his impulses to succeed in life. Next, I'm going to choose my type of hook. Then I'm going to write my type of hook. I decided to do a series of questions. Remember, that means you should have 2 to 3 questions. Those questions should be inspired by the novel, but not about the novel. So you should not have questions like, do you know who Ghost is? Did you know that Ghost was on a track team? Don't ask me questions about the novel. Ask me questions about themes and topics that come up from the novel. So your questions could be something like, can you imagine what it would feel like to have your father shoot at you? Have you ever worried about children who live with domestic violence? Maybe you could ask questions like, have you ever been on a track team? What would you do to make sure you were successful? Would you do something illegal? You can ask whatever questions are inspired by the novel. If you want to do an emotional appeal, you could do that as well. You might write something like, imagine you're a young boy and you wake up in the middle of the night with your mother screaming. She's telling you to leave the house. The next thing you know, your father is shooting at the 2 of you. That would be an emotional appeal. So that's the sort of thing you're going to write for your emotional appeal. In your background information, again, it's only going to be 2 to 3 sentences. For your background information, everybody should start with the following. In the novel, Ghost, Jason Reynolds tells the story of, and then you should share 2 to 3 sentences summarizing the story. Don't give me lots of detail. I don't want to know about Brandon. He's not important. I don't want to know that Ghost cut up his shoes. You're going to make sure that you cover that he went through a trauma in his childhood where his dad was trying to shoot him, and that he joins a track team. So it may sound something like this. In the novel Ghost, Jason Reynolds tells the story of a young man named Castle. Castle started out with a rough childhood. His father was an alcoholic who actually tried to kill him and his mother. Later on, Ghost tries to join a track team. Joining the track team turns his life around. Boom, I'm done. Don't give me lots of detail. Keep it to 3 sentences, 4 at the most. And then finally, in your thesis here, you're going to write something like, in this novel, Castle learns that, and then you're going to cover your 3 claims. So if my 3 claims are, Ghost learns that all actions have reactions, Ghost learns that he can trust his friends more than he knows, and Ghost learns that he must control his impulses to succeed, I'm not going to write all those words. I'm going to write, in this novel, Ghost learns that there are consequences in life, he can trust his friends, and he needs to control himself. Short, simple, topic, position, claim, claim, claim. Really fast. In this novel, Ghost learns that life has consequences, he should trust his friends, and he needs to control himself. Once I have all of those written in, then I'll put everything together down here in this final box by the same method. I will copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So I copy my hook and I put it in there. I copy the importance of the reader and I put it in there, and I copy my thesis. You can see that I've put it all together here at the bottom and it's ready to go. Finally, let's look at our Ghost conclusion. We actually did that a couple of weeks ago. So I would have to go all the way back here and I would have to find the Ghost conclusion. So for periods 1, 2, and 4, you did your concluding paragraph on Thursday, December 3rd. For periods 5 and 7, you did your concluding paragraph on Friday, December 4th. That's where you're going to find this document. So be sure you open those up. Again, you're going to remember what are all the different parts of a conclusion. In a conclusion, we start with a restatement or summary of your thesis. So you're going to say the same stuff that was in your thesis, the same stuff that was in your claims, but you want to mix the words up a bit. You don't want them to sound too repetitive, and it should be 2 to 3 sentences. Next, you're going to explain why this is important to the reader. You can talk about what you learned from Ghost. You can talk about what you think Ghost can teach other people. You can call your readers to action by telling them why it's so important for them to read Ghost. It should be 2 to 3 sentences. And then you're going to end with the sinker, and the sinker should tie back to your hook. So if you asked a series of questions, you'll ask a question again. If you did an emotional appeal, you'll go back to the emotional appeal. Now again, I have my 3 claims that I should have copied over from the, give me just a moment, that I should have copied over from the other documents, and everything should be exactly the same. We remembered that my series, my type of hook was a series of questions. So for my conclusion, again, I'm going to start with restating my thesis. Here are my claims. And I think I actually said it's important for him to control his impulses. So if I'm going to restate my thesis, I can change my order up here and use slightly different words. So again, throughout this novel, Ghost learns about consequences. Some of those are tied to life, and some are tied to his own temper. Ghost also learns that he can get along better with help from his friends. So I've pretty much said the same thing as were in my 3 claims, but I've rephrased those sentences differently. Next, I'm going to talk about what did I learn from the novel. I learned from the novel Ghost, and when I refer to it as the novel, I must italicize the topic of the novel. I learned from the novel Ghost to be more considerate of people who have gone through trauma in their lives. I gained greater understanding of children who have faced domestic abuse, and I believe everyone can learn much from this novel. Period. Again, 2 to 3 sentences. And then I'm going to go to my final sentence, the sinker. Sorry, my cat's playing with me. And because I did a series of questions, I'm going to end with a question again. And it might be something like, now do you better understand how a child might react to violence in his home? And I'm done. Again, I'm going to take all these pieces and I'm going to put them together underneath here. There's not a box, and that's okay. I can still just do my copying by selecting the text, hitting Control C, going down here, hitting Control V, hitting my address the reader again, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. And then I'm going to take my final sinker, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. Let me push this down here just a little bit further. And you'll see that I finally have my whole conclusion ready to go. If you've done all 3 of these, you've got all of your body paragraphs here. You have your introduction, here. And you have your conclusion here. Then you're done and you'll be ready to go on either Tuesday or Wednesday when we put everything together on the final document. Make sure you have all these paragraphs done and ready to go. I'll see you on Tuesday or Wednesday. Bye-bye.